Welcome to Carburetors and More.
Hey, that was a good one there. I like that. Rod, let me call your attention to this area right here. When we got this carburetor, this fitting was gone, so we're leaving it in there. And this area right here is there's a filter goes in here. I don't know how long that's been off. You know, I can't tell you that. But I know one thing, there's a filter and there's a spring in here now. And your problem with your carburetor is the old girl is just full of dirt. And if you've been running around with no filter in there, that would be a good cause. But there is some types of dirt that the filter won't even catch. And what it usually, it reminds me of like paint. It will go inside of a bucket, liquid, then you take and leave the top off, and what happens? It dries up. Well, there's some impurities that can get into a carburetor from the tank and whatever, and they can go in there. Like you said, it's been 3 years. Then they get hardened. The thing was just all full of it. It was just all full of it. So it was quite a job. We're going to be checking all these different things. You can see now we're ready to do our test. Now the vacuum check here is basically making sure there's no big old gigantic. Never mind, you don't have to explain all that stuff. Start it up. You don't care. You know, most people don't know and they don't care. That's for us to look at and see. Here we go. Anyway, the first test is just going to be a idle and a high rev test with no load. Then we're going to go back in the dynamometer. And this carburetor was never, 3 years ago, we didn't have that dyno back there. And so this carburetor was never run on that dyno, but she's going to be running it this time. And you know, before we tore it down, it wouldn't even run at all. Okay, we got all these. Just wait a minute till all these gauges get going. They got to level out. We're watching everything. Some of these things come on instantly. Some of them takes a minute for them to warm up. They're hooked to the computer back in the back. Okay, so we're getting readings now. Oh man, that sounds good. That'll give you some good performance right there. Okay, throw her in gear. Now when we put the big load on there, whatever, we got about I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 pound load we're going to add to it. This is just like if you're trying to drive this carburetor down the road, pulling a big old load. Now what we did, we took it right up there. That load will keep loading up the engine until it actually stall it out, but there's no sense of doing that. So we take it up there to a certain RPM that we figure is about as fast as you'll ever drive it. And that's about it. Let me turn this fan on. It's really hot in here. And that's about all I can tell you. The rest of the stuff's immaterial, what it does, what it measures, that you wouldn't know and the customer don't know. But anyway, you're going to get videos that are going to show you how to properly install this, you know, with your fuel regulator and your timing and all that stuff. The choke, of course, you know, that's the old heat choke. There ain't much you can do with them. We highly recommend that you convert that to electric. Then we can give you instructions, written instructions on how to set it, how to turn it on and off. But right now it's going to come turned off, which, you know, you probably don't even need it here in Texas. I think that's where you're from. Okay, us boys and girls here at Carburetors and More appreciate the business.